if we can have, before we get carried away, just a few things I forgot to mention. I apologise for that. I mean, this club in general works right from seniors right down to the juniors. It consists of 2 very good working committees. Like to you all just to show a bit of appreciation from the committees. We've got Judge, we've got Barnes, Coulthard, our chairman, Hadji, and Cully there. So we can give them a round of applause for their hard work. As well as people like Ibali there, Raja, myself, Chaz here, our head coach, who put a lot of work in, all of the managers. So without these kind of guys, they're making the club work. A lot of work goes on, even on your match days, making the signings and selling the pop, whatever. There's a lot of work, and it makes it all worth it when you win something like these guys have achieved this year, winning the championship. So thank you very much to these guys. Okay. So if you can bring up on the floor, Barnes, Cully, and Coulthard, you want to come up? We'll have Cully and Barnes, please, if you don't mind. Yeah, you can bring it back. Where's Cully?
Give it 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Oh, 10 minutes? So what do you want me to do?
Sing. Can you sing a song?
No. I can tell you more about our juniors if you want. Really push it.
Give me the mic. Go on, man.
Oh, okay. We'll have a 10 minute there because I think our man Cully's doing nothing there. But we'll have a 10 minute break and then we'll start. Cully, just 1 second. Let me attention, please, again. Ladies and gentlemen. Can we just? I think these guys, seniors, just have a team photo here. If we just tell us, we're going to be starting the senior presentation soon, very soon, and then hopefully we should just tie it in perfectly for your main meals to start afterwards. So I'll just wait until I've got Tony Sandu here, our first team manager. We'll give her a round of applause for what he's achieved at this club this year. I'm going to hand you over to Tony Sandu and I'll ask Brendan later on to present the awards to the seniors as well, please. So if you just have your attention, please. Right back, please. I'll hand you to Colin. Hello. Quiet, please. Is that okay? Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me at the back? Yeah. Quiet, please. Just give us a few minutes. Well, a few people remember this. About 30 years ago when I got involved with Albion, I didn't need glasses. But now I do. When I used to give these speeches, I think there's Coulthard here and Tag will remember. This is what this club has done to me, honestly. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Albion Sports presentation evening. Before we start, I'd like to congratulate the under-16s for the magnificent season they've had, and I hope you've all I'm not going to keep you long, because again, people have heard me say the same old words year in, year out, but there are a few new faces here now. After this season's successful campaign in winning the league and getting promoted, I will then pass you over to Park, who will have a few words to say after me. Last season, we came close to promotion, but in my opinion, the club would agree we had a horrible dressing room, full of players blaming each other and not accepting responsibility for their actions. It was very stressful, and in all my 27 years, I have never had a dressing room like that. It wasn't managing. This wasn't very easy. I then rang a few of my contacts that I've made over the years. A guy called Tariq, who unfortunately can't be here today because his mother's ill, who's always found me players, and a new guy called Johnny from Huddersfield, who's here tonight, who's recommended me players and helped me greatly. I can't do it on my own. You always need to have some backup strategy. Call him Scout. especially when there's a lot of local clubs around the area who don't want us to do well. I won't mention no names. Then, in pre-season, I realised I couldn't do this on my own, so I approached my former player and friend, Singhs, who's one of only 1,000 in the country who's qualified at UEFA A licence and has a wealth of experience of playing at these levels and has access to players. His introduction was evident from the start because of his passion, organisation skills, discipline, professionalism and attention to detail in games. I believe this had a big factor in us gaining promotion and then most importantly for the players understanding their roles and responsibilities and the team having a purpose in matches. The introduction of new players did take time early on. Players had to gel and feel part of a club and understand and respect what we are trying to achieve for Albion Sports. I believe we achieved this and got our dressing room back in order, and this then transferred onto the pitch. Keeping players happy is not easy. Everyone wants to play, but we move the squad around at times, not keeping players happy, but you need to keep things fresh and adapt to the season and fixtures where we need it to. This year will be a big challenge, as more players will want to get part of a successful club. Myself and Pav will deal with this during pre-season. We believe in our current squad and want to be loyal, but players will have to step up another level, and I hope they do. So I look forward to our campaign next season. But myself and Pav only want players who are determined and focused to bring success for Albion Sports. The celebrations after we got promoted and won the league was typical of Albion Sports. Again, no expense spared. Just enjoy yourselves.
Yeah, go on.
It's a lot of hard work drinking, isn't it? That's what I'm going to do. But we have a dedicated committee, and I take my hat off to them, and a lot of volunteers that help the club going. I would like to thank not only the committee members for their support, but a few people in the back scene that need their names mentioned tonight. Again, Tariq from Leeds, who's not here, and Johnny, Ray and Ryan Watley. Ray does a tremendous job behind the scenes, and young Ryan, he never says no to us. Bal Panisar for his work on the website and tries to promote the club forward. Chano Parves for the work he does behind the scenes at every home game. Dave Halliwell. Dave Halliwell and Primoz for the work he does. And obviously, everybody knows Barnes, the treasurer, his backroom staff was Conrad Sandro, Little Lad, Adam and Callum. And most importantly, I'd like to thank all our sponsors, who without we would have no Albion. I think that's a pal. And I apologise if I have missed anyone out. Now I'd like to ask Pav to say a few words before we present you.
Cully, thank you. You spoke very eloquently there. Calm down, Stuart. Just a couple of things for me, in terms of what Cully spoke about there. The most important thing for me was, when Cully come to me and said to me, I need you to get involved with Albion now, I need you to come in and help me, right? it was something different, right? I wanted to bring something different to the club, and all I wanted to bring was organisation and structure. That's all it was. You know, Gully's talked about last season in terms of some of the problems we had. He used to be on the phone with me all the time. And some of you don't know about me, Gully had the right love-hate relationship as a player. We did, you know, and Tad's can vouch for that. You know, we did. And someone said to me the other week, have you got your marriage certificate sorted out, you know, after this season? But most importantly, right, the players there, right, what I'd like to thank you for is, especially the senior players, right, because the changing room was key. Over the years, playing for Albion, you know, we play some league, and Tad's can vouch for that, and some of the former players, right, we had good team spirit, we had a good, strong dressing room. And the last game, remember the game against Bradford? I said 3 things to you. No blame culture, accept responsibility as an individual, application attitude. Those are only 3 things I wanted, right? And you've done that this season. You've played 42 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, 42 games is a lot. No, 42 games.
Massive.
Right. Now, during the season, you have ups and downs. Now, there were some key moments within that season. And I remember Rimsey Borough. Remember we were 2-0 down? Do you remember that? You don't remember that now, do you? We were 2-0 down. I've got my lad running about everywhere. Me and Cully look at each other, we think we're 2-0 down, Jesus, what's going on? And then Cully said to me, right, this is what a squad is. This is really important because Cully touched on this. It's not about 11 players, it's about 16 players, what's so important. But we changed it, and what happened? We won 3-2. I think that was a defining moment. I mean, Cully keep talking about that, and that set the stall for the season. Now, that was really important at that time. Now, if I go back a bit, we've had a couple of introductions of new players coming in. Liam's coming, Ewan's coming, Mike has come in, and I know for a fact, last season, when new players would have come in, right, there would have been a bit of tension. But I tell you what, when these guys come in, and Charlie, you know, quite a few, and Mal, who's not here, he's in Birmingham, the dressing room, you welcomed them. They're part of the team, and that's so important, because what you've got to remember is, right, if you don't play as a team, you will die as individuals. You like that? Thank you, Albion, for that quote. Now, moving on, right, we've got a season to look forward to, which pre-season, right, it's about professionalism now, right? And I remember playing that Liverpool season, playing now, I'm thinking, flipping now, Jesus, you know, I played Sunday League football 6-7 years ago, me and Taj, remember Taj? Right, and now...
You want Taj up there with you?
But what I like about culture, he made the best decision. He thought, right, I'll sit down, I'll bring Pav in because the best place is that place there, own a few drinks. And to be honest, hopefully, me and Cully won't end up there next season. Yeah, so that's important.
If I be where Brendan might be here.
Okay. But moving on, what's important is in any dressing room is about team spirit, right? And that's something what you guys need to think about, right? You've won it, which is fantastic. But now, I know what you're doing. You're looking over there, aren't you? You're thinking, do you think I could be over there? Yes, you can. Because, you know, there's a lot of work going in the junior section. Bally's doing a bit of work in terms of having some sort of pathway from you guys moving from there to there, which is important. And that's something what you need to give me and him a headache about. That's so important, you know, because winning is a key. But what you've got to think about as young players, are you good enough to go over there?
They're all looking at them. They haven't got a goddamn chance to get